I've spent decades studying success and failure. And after all of that study, after all the books, the seminars, the conversations with extraordinary people, I've come to believe that the single most important question any person can answer is this: why are you doing what you do? Not what, not how. Why? Because here's what I know about the what and the how. They change. Markets change. Methods change. Industries transform overnight. The specific plan you have today may be completely irrelevant in 3 years. But a powerful why, a deep, personal, burning why, that doesn't change with the market. That doesn't fold under pressure. That doesn't go home when things get difficult. I was 25 years old, broke, and working a job that barely covered my bills. I had big ideas about what I wanted for my life: a nice home, financial security, the ability to provide for my family. But ideas aren't enough. Wanting things isn't enough. The man who mentored me early in my career, a remarkable man named Mr. Schoaf, asked me a question I'll never forget. He said, "Jim, what are you working toward? Not what you're working at, what you're working toward." And when I tried to answer, I stumbled because I hadn't truly defined it. He said, "If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there." That was the day I began to understand the power of purpose. Think of it this way: your goals are the destination. Your plan is the map. Your skills are the vehicle. But your why, your deep, personal, emotionally connected reason, that's the fuel. You can have the best map, the best vehicle, the best road, but without fuel, you're not going anywhere. And here's what most people do: they set goals, good goals, smart goals, but they never take the time to root those goals in something that truly matters to them. So when the road gets difficult, when the alarm goes off and they don't feel like getting up, when the criticism comes and the results are slow, there's nothing pulling them forward. The fuel runs out and they stop. I've observed that there are two kinds of motivation, two kinds of why. The first is external, someone else's expectations, social pressure, the fear of looking bad, the desire to impress. This can get you started, but it rarely keeps you going because external motivation is conditional. When the audience disappears, the motivation often disappears with it. The second kind is internal, rooted in your own values, in what genuinely matters to you, in the vision you have for your life and for the people you love. This kind of why is weatherproof. I've met people who worked with extraordinary intensity, not because someone was watching, not because they feared failure, but because they had a picture in their mind so clear and so compelling that every day's work was simply progress towards something that truly mattered. Those are the people who build remarkable lives. How to find your why here is the exercise I've given to thousands of people over my speaking career, and I give it to you today. Sit quietly for 30 minutes. Turn off every distraction. Get a piece of paper and answer these questions honestly. Who am I doing this for? Not the polished answer, the honest answer. Yourself, your children, your community. Who? What does success in this area actually mean to your daily experience? If you achieved the goal, what would your Monday morning look like? If you knew you couldn't fail and money was not a factor, what would you spend your life building? And finally, what would it cost you, emotionally, relationally, spiritually, if you never pursued this? That last question is important because sometimes the most powerful why isn't the vision of what you'd gain. It's the awareness of what you'd lose by never trying. I want to tell you about a woman I met at one of my seminars. She was in her late 40s, had returned to school to finish her degree, and was working full-time while raising 2 teenage children. I asked her how she was managing it all. She didn't say discipline. She didn't say routine. She pulled out a photograph of her children and said, "I want them to see that it's never too late." That's why. There it was. One clear, emotionally charged, deeply personal why. She wasn't going to stop. Not for tired, not for difficult, not for slow progress. Because every late night studying wasn't about a grade. It was a message to her children. That's the power of a why. Here's a mistake people make with purpose. They keep it vague. I want a better life. That's too vague. I want financial security. Still too vague. I want to pay off this house in 7 years so that my family never fears losing it. That's what drives me. Now we're getting somewhere. Specificity gives the why its power. A vague why produces vague commitment. A specific why produces specific daily behavior. Write it down. Precisely, with as much detail and emotional color as you can give it. Read it every morning, especially on the days you don't feel like continuing. Here's the final thing I want to leave you with. When your why is powerful enough, the how figures itself out. I don't mean magically. I mean that when you're truly committed to a purpose, your mind naturally begins to find paths you wouldn't have seen before. Your creativity activates. Your network activates. Your resourcefulness activates. People who are desperate for something they deeply believe in find ways that comfortable, purposeless people never will. Find your why. Write it down. Protect it. And let it do what fuel does. Keep the engine running when everything else is trying to stop it. That is the power of your why.